Hello and welcome to Vlogmas Day 13. Vlogmas Day 13. Today is going to be a different type of video. I do not know how long I will be able to chat with you or anything like that or explain really anything, but I am here and we are going to do our best. So this is like a few things that I own that if I didn't own or if like they got ruined, I would purchase again. Or if someone bought it for me, I would love as well. So those are the things that we're going to be talking about. I have a list on my phone of different items. The first item is obviously my KitchenAid. I'm going to put photos here. But obviously my KitchenAid, I have the handled one that pulls up. I use it for goodies. I use it like sweets and stuff. I use it for savory things. So I can make meatballs in there. I can make mashed potatoes as well, and then obviously like cookies, cakes, desserts. It makes things a lot easier sometimes, like you can just let it go and then move on to something else, as well as it's just like a fun thing to use. You make sure everything gets incorporated. My first year did not make any bread, but recently have gotten into some bread, and it also helps with the kneading process. So I love it. I have the matte black one that came with two bowls. So it came with a big bowl and a smaller bowl. And then the dough handle or the dough mixer, a whisk for the big bowl, a whisk for the small bowl, and then the paddle as well. I think one thing that I'm going to eventually get is one of the paddles with the silicone on it, because that helps scrape the sides as it's turning. And sometimes things do get stuck on sides. I also think it's really important to be able to take care of your KitchenAid. Sometimes we do not do that, and they do break because they are machines. So if you're not taking care of it, of course it's going to break. Just understanding sort of how to use it as well. And even I continue learning that, like not kneading bread over like a 2 and stuff like that. So it's me trying to still understand patience through baking, not just forcing things to happen. Number 2 on the list is the air fryer that I inherited when my mom moved in. It is the Ninja Foodie digital air fryer, the 6 or 9-in-1. I cannot remember which one it is. It's one of the pullouts that sort of looks like a toaster oven as well, so it can do a lot of different things rather than just air fry. So that's great. It also folds up, which is amazing. I think it's a cheaper version of the Breville one. If I ever win the lottery, there will be signs of me winning the lottery, and it will be that I have things like a Breville and a $200 tea kettle. But it's so useful. It's so great when you're just making something quick and you don't want to heat up the whole oven. And then it also just does things in such a fast manner that your oven will never do. So like crisping up chicken fingers in 20 minutes rather than 40 or 50. So that's so great for people who are busy. You can also cook other things in it. We do a lot of chicken fingers and tater tots though. Next up is the tea kettle that I own. The one that I own is the Corsica Smart Electric gooseneck. I love the look of these tea kettles. Like that's one of the main reasons. I forget who I saw had it. One of the influencers that I watch had it back in the day, and I thought it was the cutest tea kettle in the whole entire world. There is the $200 one that, again, if I ever win the lottery, there will be signs. That's like matte black, and I would have loved the black one. But I did find this kettle at a Home Goods, I want to say, for like $40. It's original $70 to $100 tea kettle. I love the idea that there are buttons. So it's like if you want black tea, herbal tea, green tea, it sets it to the correct temperature for the steeping or around the correct temperature for the steeping. There's an app that you can connect it so that you can start your tea kettle from anywhere. There's a coffee button. It's just very well made in my opinion, and sort of very user friendly rather than just like pressing a button and letting the water get super, super hot. I love tea. I am not a tea girly in the sense that I know a lot about tea, but I do enjoy it very much. So someone who hasn't done a lot of the research yet, but can be like, okay, green tea is supposed to be at that temperature. That's great for me. One day when I do get into tea a little bit more, I probably will need one where you actually get to decide what temperature it actually is brewing to. But currently right now, it is a great tea kettle for me. I love it. I wish it held a little bit more water, but it looks cute on the counter. It works wonderful. It heats up so fast. And yes, the tea kettle is just great. And it's a great sort of budget option before I'm able to actually purchase the really expensive one. The next thing I'm going to talk about is like good quality baking sheets. So if you're like me, my baking sheets for years were just like the black ones that you bought at Target, Walmart, wherever, and they would get a little disgusting throughout the years, but they worked wonderful. They're lightweight, all that stuff, used for so many different things. When I moved into one of my apartments, I was like opening up cupboards and all this stuff, and I saw in one of the cupboards these heavy duty baking sheets, and I was like, okay, thank you, I guess. Why would someone leave these? Thank God they did, because I love them. The ones that I have are the David Burke Gourmet Pro. They are like a coppery color. They are very heavy duty, so they do weigh a lot more than a normal baking sheet, but I think they are more consistent in the temperature that they get. So they do, in my opinion, do not get as hot as some of the other baking sheets. So when I am baking something, it doesn't burn from the bottom up, if that makes sense. They're used more specifically for us for baking cookies and desserts, but I think they'd be great for anything that you could need them to use for. Now that I have those, it's like when I'm looking at kitchen, it's not utensils, kitchen. When I'm looking at kitchen accessories, it's like, okay, sometimes the heavier ones, yeah, you're gonna pay a little bit more, but also understanding that I think those will last me. I mean, they've already lasted me 5 years and don't look any different in comparison to some of my regular cookie sheets that definitely look like they've been through more in their life than those ones. So I think it's a great gift. They're not gonna blow your budget out. Like, I wouldn't go above like $30, $30 to $40, but I do think they add something for paying more. The next one is a weighted heating pad. My mom got this for me 2 Christmases ago, somewhere around there. I love a heating pad, any type of heating pad. I love a heated blanket, heating pad, everything. I keep my house cold, and then I always have a heating pad on me. It's a weird system that I love. She also gave me a weighted blanket that she got. I forget how she got it, but she got a weighted blanket. And I really enjoyed that. And then I got a weighted heating pad. And even if I'm not using the weighted portion, a heating pad is just something that is great to have around. If you have like sore muscles, your nerves are a little upset at you, like anything that is causing some inflammation, I believe that heat will help that. They keep getting rid of the idea that ice is the end all be all when it comes to injuries, and a lot of the times the heat helps things heal faster. So I think heating pads are just a great option for people. The weighted one, you can put it on your chest or on your stomach if you have cramps or anything like that, and it adds a compression type feeling without actually compressing. So that's calming to your nervous system, as well as that, in my opinion, it did help my cramps when I was using it for that. So again, not something that will blow out the bank, but I think can make your life a little bit easier or better as well. The next one I'm going to talk about, just like I said with the KitchenAid, I did not really cook bread or bake bread, I guess is what it is, until this last like 6 months of this year. But when I did decide that I was going to do it, I bought an accessory kit that had a whisk, a bench scraper, a like bread dough cutter thing, brush, and then a bowl that holds the bread as well. So it had all of that stuff. And then I've been using that. It's been a great investment in my opinion. It wasn't very expensive. I just got a very basic one. So maybe as I get better and as I get more comfortable with bread baking, maybe I like invest in better equipment, but for right now it's worked wonderful. I've used something from that accessory kit every single time I've baked, so that's great. Next one is a shoe. I was a Nike girl for my whole life. I feel like everyone's a Nike girl because they're like the most quote unquote popular shoe brand or whatever. But I was a Nike girl until recently, and I tried Adidas. And Adidas is interesting in the sense that none of their sizes make sense. Some of their clothes are nice, I will give them that. I do like the Nike clothes better. I feel like across the board they are just better. But shoes, when it comes to shoes, I'm gonna grab them. The Adidas shoes, I actually like them better than the Nike shoes. So these are the Ultra Boost. These are the 5.0, so these are the newer ones. I love this shoe. It is wide enough that if you have a little bit of a wide foot, it does not hurt you. It gives you great heel support. Now when I put on other shoes, I feel like I'm walking on the ground and I'm heel striking hard into the ground. That does not happen with these. These are the Ultra Boost 5s, which were like the original ones that we sort of used. And I adore these ones even more than those ones. These are the original. I don't think they have these anymore really out there. This pair we bought a year ago and I just haven't worn it yet, but they're just so comfy. The support you get in the heel, again, I'm going to just reiterate, is amazing. It gives your foot room to breathe. That was my biggest thing, is I do have fairly wide feet, and I felt like my Nikes would just squeeze the sides of my foot, and that hurt really, really bad. So these are great for anyone with wide feet. I feel like they give you the support you need in the foot. They're not heavy, which is amazing also. I cannot say more good things about the Ultra Boost. So if you have not tried them, I would recommend them. The next one is also a shoe, which I gotta go grab. My friend bought these for me for my birthday. And they're these shark slides. Now the shark doesn't matter, but these foamy flip-flops are so comfortable after a long day. They're so cheap, they're so light, but they like just give you the right amount of cushion when you take your shoes off. I've taken like dress shoes or boots off and put these on, and it feels like you're like stepping on a cloud afterwards. They are amazing. They're cheap. Obviously you can get cool little designs and such, but I recommend those if you're in the market for like a house shoe. I only wear these inside. They are my house shoe. I love them to death. The next thing we are going to talk about is bullet journaling. I started trying to be a bullet journaler about, I want to say 3-4 years ago is when I did it. When I did it, I bought these pens. I don't know if I guess it doesn't tell me the brand, but Fine Liner pen. That's sort of what they look like. I bought a whole pack. And they live in this thing. And then I also bought the Cal Art marker, which has a brush side and then also a fine art side. They were not that expensive. They give you such a wide variety of colors. And I felt like they made me better at what I was doing because I had control over where the color was actually going. And then obviously you have the brush style one to sort of expand if you need to as well. So that was amazing. And they're not going to break the bank. I think as I get like deeper into it, like I then bought, these are mild liner, zebra mild liner. Because they were on sale. So I have a few of these thrown in there, a few regular types of markers as well. I think just as I go through it, I keep like getting markers. Eventually when these run out, I might get a better quote unquote marker brand. But currently right now, I'm fairly happy with what they do for me. And then last but not least for me, I talk about baking, cooking a lot. I think a good kitchen scale, especially if you are gluten-free or just have to do alternative baking, a good kitchen scale is something that I think everyone needs. It really just makes sure that we are good in what we need, and that all of your recipes sort of stay consistent. My mom, when she moved in with me and I said, well, we're going to weigh everything that we put into it, she was like, I never did that. And I was like, I know you didn't, but a lot of people do. So it has changed the way that my gluten-free baking has gone. I currently use this, is it OXO? I don't know how to pronounce this brand, but I use this current scale. I bought like a very, very cheap one in the beginning from Amazon, and it worked well, but it would like turn off in the middle of things and the battery wouldn't stay in and blah, 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 blah. I've got this one from World Market for cheap. I want to say it was like $18 on clearance, and then I got an additional like 10 or 20% off, so it was like nothing. And it has definitely aggressively changed my life. You can also use it for coffee drips, so like making sure that you're timing it correctly, using the correct amount, all of that stuff as well. I haven't gotten into that just yet, but it might be coming. But I think a good kitchen scale is something that everyone should have, and it sort of just helps making my life easier when it comes to baking as well. This was a pretty hectic morning for me filming this. It is 9:40. I'm currently about to leave to head to Vegas, so that is a little bit bonkers, but thank you for hanging out with me for Vlogmas Day 13. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope this was not annoying to you that this was the vlog for today, but I will see you guys next time. Bye.